Tonight, Valentine's cooking a collection of his favourite breakfasts, food he loves whipping up before a day of country pursuits. Creamy smoked haddock custards, kidneys with sherry and fried bread, and a Warner-style Bloody Mary.
I'm a big believer in getting the day started with a good breakfast. I take my breakfast seriously. Cereal I find pretty boring, and more often than not, the choice for cooked breakfast in the morning is a fry-up. But there's millions of fantastic breakfasts. So I'm going to cook a haddock custard. Might sound a bit weird. I'm going to cook kidneys on fried bread. Yes, mate. And I'm going to do a Bloody Mary. A good start to the day, especially if you wake up with a rascal behind the eyes. But I'm going to start with the haddock. So I've got some milk kind of simmering here. I've got a lovely fat piece of undyed smoked haddock. So in that goes. A couple of bay leaves, long known good friends of the haddock. I've got to be careful when cooking the haddock. I don't want to overcook it because it's going to be cooked again. So just when it's still slightly gluey between the flakes is when I'm going to want to take it out. So while that's on the go, I'm just going to take a nice, loving the anchovy. Whew, that's quite pokey. A nice spoonful of patent pepperium. This is kind of anchovy paste. Great spread on hot buttered toast. Some mustard. Again, just a hint of mustard, don't overdo it. So mix those up together. I think growing up in the country, hunting, I saw other people shooting and I was interested and I wanted to do it myself, and my father said, let us be clear, if you want to take the life of something, then you have to respect it. And hunting comes with a lot of conscientiousness, and also it brings a whole load of things to the table that you can't get into the supermarket. It has a provenance that no butcher or you've been there, you've obtained it yourself. You want to do it all as humanely as possible. And as a result, the variety of things I've eaten is wide-ranging, and I love those wild tastes that you can't often find. Okay, now I just want to test my haddock. Is that kind of cooked yet? I just want a little bit of resistance, but I just don't want it to fall off the skin, but a little resistance. We've become very lazy with breakfast. It's kind of get a pan, fry some eggs, put some rubbish sausages in the oven, and go into all those kind of old books, or go online. There's so much information online, but if you tapped in old-fashioned breakfasts, this enormous array of ideas would come up. It would really make you think twice. And also all over the world, there's wonderful things to have. Kedgeree and pan con tomate and Mexican breakfasts of black beans and tortillas. So I've mixed my patent pepperium with mustard. I'm just going to butter the inside of some ramekins.
So going back to hunting, do you remember the first thing you shot?
My first kill was a pigeon. My dad couldn't quite believe, I think it was the first shot I ever fired. And this pigeon came tumbling out of the air. I was completely surprised. And Dad said, right, there you go, you've got your pigeon, that's the end of that, we'll go back to the house. And then he taught me how to pluck it. We didn't even hang it, I think. I was so excited about shooting this pigeon that I wanted to eat it immediately, and we roasted it. And I remember it being a little bit on the tough side, but I was so happy that I'd got this thing for myself. I'd never eaten a pigeon before. And yeah, I was very pleased with myself. I now love pigeon. Okay, so the haddock has poached. I'm going to turn off that whiny sound, which is my gas on low heat. I'm just going to lift out my haddock. I'm going to let that cool. I am a glutton for punishment in the kitchen. I kind of always picking up hot things and then going, ow, eat, or whatever, but that is very hot and I'm going to leave it to cool, so it can go there. So what I need now is a sieve, and I'm just going to pour it through the sieve, so if there's any kind of scalded milk skin or anything, that doesn't go in. And stir that in. Hares are one of my favourite creatures. I eat them still, I don't shoot them anymore. I think they answer directly to Mother Nature. They rub up against her calf, and she tells them all sorts of secrets that we will never know. There's a lot of mysticism around hares. Okay, so, and then one more egg yolk, and really, really whisk it in. Okay, so that's that. Now I can turn my attention to the haddock. So just break it open. Ooh. And don't smash it up in small pieces. What you want is a big, kind of luxurious piece of haddock. So nice, big, fat chunks. Share them out equally. Right, the haddock is very fairly and evenly divided. I'm just going to have a little taste of the custard base. All the salt from the haddock and from the pace and peperium is in there, the gentleman's relish. So that's salty enough. So all I need to do now is, actually probably this will make it easier, pour it into a jug in the interest of creating as much washing up as possible. So I'm just going to divide this between the 3 pots. Okay, so those are now ready. It sounds like something's been kept in my kitchen against its will, but it's actually just my very crude steamer set up, ready to go. I've got 3 ramekins upside down in some water, and I'm going to calm them down just by placing my little haddock custards on top. And these will probably steam in here for 8 to 10 minutes. Lid on, just turn the heat down a little. It's a little bit excited. They should come out nice and wobbly. You should be able to tap the side and they'll just jiggle a little bit. And they'll be soft and tender and giving and haddocky and creamy and delicious. So my haddock custards have been in here for about 8 minutes. Just tap the sides. Yeah, they've got a lovely little tremble in the middle, a little wobbly tremble. You don't want them to be stiff and ungiving. So I'm just going to let those cool down. I've got my toast here. Now, soldiers, very, very important for this. So lots of butter. Remember, it's cold outside. The mist is hanging in the hedges. It's really, really bitterly cold. Maybe light drizzle falling. Don't be shy with the butter. Those are done. There they go. Good knives are important. More accidents happen in kitchens from not having sharp knives. Okay, so out, ow, ooh, ow, comes a little custard. There's one more thing to go on top, which is a tiny little scratch of nutmeg. Not too much, it's very strong stuff. Just a little suggestion of it. Some chives to pretty it up and give that little kind of oniony hit. So there's my first dish for breakfast of champions, a smoked haddock custard with buttered soldiers. And next I'm going to do kidneys with sherry on fried toast, washed down with a good old steadier Bloody Mary.